I'm already a millionaire in my mind. I don't see it yet, but I believe it now. In the same way a seed is called by its finished form, I'm accepting my divine inheritance as a child of God. I'm meant to have life and have it more abundantly. My treasure on earth shall correspond directly to the treasure in the heaven of my mind. Abundance is my birthright. Ashe, amen, and so it is. My name is Julian Gordon, and I'm author of Rich and Righteous: Spiritual Secrets to Mastering Money, Manifestation, and Your Mind. After becoming a multimillionaire through real estate investing, I was moved by God at the beginning of the pandemic to share my money mindset that allowed me to quit my job in January of 2009 at the bottom of the last recession and achieve full financial freedom. I own my mental real estate before I own any physical real estate. This book is like some of your favorites: Rich Dad, Poor Dad, As a Man Thinketh, Think and Grow Rich, and the Bible all in one. But the divine downloads and thoughts that are in here are 100% original and came for a 6-month period at the beginning of the pandemic. This book is normally $100 on Amazon if you went there right now, but I want to give you access to it for free by inviting you to our next reading group. Yes, the reading group is 100% free. Every weekday for 100 days straight, I'll be reading and discussing the 10 money commandments in the book that make money come to you in your life easily, more frequently, and abundantly. And it will take about 30 to 45 minutes as we read 3 to 5 pages per day until we finish the book and reprogram your mind around money. Why 100 days? Well, if you are 30 years old, you've lived for 10,950 days. And we have to deprogram and reprogram the negative, scarcity-based money mindset society has taught you. And I believe I can do that in just 1% of the time in about 100 days. I'm done with shelf help. You know, when you buy a book to change your life, but you never read it, it just sits on your bookshelf and collects a whole bunch of dust. We off that. When is the last time you had an author actually read their book to you out loud because they cared about you getting the information in your soul? I'm not just here to get this book in your hands. More importantly, I want to get it in your head and your heart, because that's where the real transformation occurs, in the conscious and the subconscious mind. As scripture says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is not the type of book that you just read once. To renew the subconscious mind requires repetition over and over and over. So if you joined us last time, I encourage you to join us again. I myself have read this book over 10 times already. So click the link to join our next reading group, and when you sign up, I'm going to give you the first 2 chapters of the book for absolutely free on what is money and abundance is your birthright, so that you can start your journey to a more abundant life today.
So happy to be here to start our first day of the reading of the Rich and Righteous. Glad you guys came to attend. Looking forward to reading this book from start to finish with you guys. Like I said, today is the first day. We're going to start out with what is money? Chapter 1, what is money? We'll read about 15-20 minutes today. At the end of the reading, I would like for you guys to comment in the comment section, what was your biggest takeaways? Anything you'd like to share, type it in the comments. Look forward to hearing your comments. And if there's anything I can do differently, by all means, let me know. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started on our reading.
What is money? How did money get created? But remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms his covenant, which he swore to your ancestors as it is today. Deuteronomy 8:18. Understanding the origins of money can help us identify what it is, why it exists, and how it works. The genesis of money begins with the barter system. Let's say that back in the day, you had a cow, I had 100 apples, you wanted 20 apples, but I didn't want 20% of the cow. So you suggest that we create an IOU, a debt for you and an asset for me. We write out our transaction, or the transfer of action, on a piece of paper. I'm transferring the energy I put into creating 20 apples that you want right now in exchange for an equivalent energy exchange at a later date and time. The IOU says John owes Julian the equivalent of 20% of a cow, and then we both sign it. And I hold the note in trust that you will honor our agreement when I decide to redeem it. You get to have what you want now, and instead of bartering in the moment and having to take 20% of a cow that I did not want simply because you wanted apples, I can store the value of my action as a farmer through this piece of paper. That paper agreement is literally how money gets created. Money is debt to the spender and an asset to the lender. And when enough people agree on how everything in an economy is valued, money becomes the most liquid or most straightforward way to transact. In our case, 1 cow was equal to 100 apples. I tended to my orchard to produce those 100 apples by investing various forms of energy into the process, such as my labor or leadership, the time and work of others I pay, the cost of the land, the cost of the seeds and water, and the cost of transportation to get them to the market. And so all the energy that I put into creating these apples, I've now stored it in this piece of paper that I can use with you or anyone else who honors its value. And so all the energy I put into creating these apples, I've now stored it in this piece of paper that I can use with you or anyone else who honors its value. When you look at the origins of money from the barter system, there is nothing wrong with money. Printed and coined money accelerated the exchange process and resulted in the circulation of more goods and services. Money has always been a means to an end, but at some point, we ended up making money the end goal, and that is where we went wrong. Over time, we as a species started mistaking having money for having wealth, W-E-A-L-T-H, which we'll explore the definition of in Money Commandment number 1. Why? Because what gets measured is what gets done, and money is easier to measure than true wealth. From there, money became a form of comparison and competition, and we lost sight of what its true purpose was. Making money became the goal rather than making our unique contribution, and thus we began working for money instead of money working for us. What is money? Money is the answer to everything. Ecclesiastes 10:19. The dictionary definition of money is as follows. 1. Medium of exchange. A medium of exchange issued by a government or other public authority in the form of coins of gold, silver, or other metal, or paper bills used as the measure of the value of goods and services. 2. Denomination. A form or denomination of coin or paper money. 3. Somebody's coins and bills. The number of coins and bills in somebody's possession. These definitions are good but incomplete. On the surface, I define money as an agreed upon store of value created in the past to facilitate easier exchange in the present. In short, money is just stored energy waiting to be used. This is why Ecclesiastes 10:19 says, money answers everything. What I have come to know is that money cannot solve every problem, but stored energy can. Money is a medium of exchange between heaven, the mental, and earth, the material. If we have enough energy, any problem can be solved. Money is a malleable spiritual substance that can become many things, just like a box of Legos can. This is why we value the liquidity of cash. Beyond cash's ability to easily be exchanged for other things, cash is almost worthless. In fact, it costs about 2 cents to produce a penny and 7 cents to produce a nickel. Make that make sense, pun intended. Everybody wants money, but very few people have taken the time to understand its nature. When you know its nature, it is easier to attract. Rather than prey on money like a hunter, you will be able to pray for it and it will come. Money has some characteristics that go against what we've been taught. We want to understand the nature of money, not just its use. When we know its nature, we will know how to use it properly. Just like when someone knows themselves first, their purpose and what they are meant to do becomes clear. For example, money should be multiplied, not saved. Money is not evil, it is objective. Money is not limited, it is numberless. Money is not paper, it is potential energy. Money is not limited, it is infinite. I'll explain each of these in more detail now. Here's what I know to be true about the nature of money using what I call the 5 characteristics of money. M-O-N-E-Y. Magnetic. I've never seen money repel money. Why do you think they call wealthy business people magnets? Money attracts more money. Its true nature is magnetic. Money attracts more money when it is charged. To be charged, it must be in motion. This is why we call money currency. It is meant to have a current just like electricity. Until then, it is just stored energy. Money sitting still in a savings account has no charge and therefore attracts very little money to it. When money is in motion, it attracts more money. Objective. Many people have been taught that money is evil, but 1 Timothy 6:10 says, the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money causes individuals to prioritize paper over people. I would also like to add that the lack of money is also the root of all evil. The lack of money makes it hard for people to walk in their God-given purpose daily. Money is neither good nor bad. The intention behind who is using it and how they use it determines whether it has a positive or negative charge. Money is objective. It is unbiased. Romans 2:11 says, "For there is no respecter of persons with God." Just like a tree, it doesn't care if a murderer sits under it for shade or a saint. It accommodates them equally with the benefit of the fruit or shade it provides. This book is intended to help the righteous gain a better understanding of money, but the laws are universal like gravity and apply to all regardless of their intent. Like universal laws, money is a universal tool that doesn't care who you are, where you are from, what school you went to, or where you work. It merely flows and magnetizes to whomever it is most attracted to. You can become more attractive by knowing what money is, what it wants, and how it works, in which we will cover in commandment number 9. When a planet has a gravitational pull, it recognizes that it is bigger and more powerful than the planets, stars, and moons it pulls into its orbit. In the same way, you must recognize your power in relationship to money so that your gravitational pull keeps money floating in your orbit or experience. Numberless. Money is abundant. It can't be counted. The amount of money available depends on our individual and collective faith. That's why they put "In God We Trust" on the dollar bill. The dollar would be more accurate if it said "In each other we trust," or "In the God in you I trust," if it is a one-to-one transaction. I trust that when I'm ready to redeem my IOU, that you will honor our agreement. In the context of an economy where we are exchanging money with many different creators, we are trusting the God and the people we are doing business with, the citizens of that country, and the laws and the law enforcement. The more we trust in each other to keep our word, the more we lend and circulate, and the bigger the potential pie can grow for all of us. The US dollar is no longer backed by gold. It is a fiat paper currency that has no real value. It is essentially monopoly money at this point. Going back to the barter system, we are trusting in each other. Cash is one liquid and measurable representation of money, but it does not encompass all of the world's stored energy. For instance, we know that the physical cash in circulation only represents a fraction of all the world's wealth. Currently, the United States has $98 trillion in wealth, but only $1.5 trillion worth of currency, which is current that you can see, in circulation. Your bank is only holding 10% of what you deposited due to the fractional reserve banking system. Even the gross domestic product falls short of measuring money. While the physical money supply of paper and coins is limited, once you add credit, equity, financial derivatives, and cryptocurrency to the equation, the amount of money available becomes limitless. And then there's an abundance of untapped spiritual money floating around as potential energy inside of us, ready to be released when the right ideas, individuals, and investments come together. Any form of stored energy is money in my mind. In aggregate, we are either creating money or contracting it through our level of belief in God, ourselves, and each other, and our level of cash consciousness, which we will discuss in commandment number 7. Beyond the Federal Reserve telling the US Treasury to print more money, my belief in my God, myself, and what was possible determined whether I started my company on January 9, 2009 at the bottom of the last recession. My belief in my ability to grow my company is what frees me to invest in rental properties and commit to 30-year mortgages. At the level of wealth I am now, I even occasionally spend money with no expectation of return just to circulate it. Belief has no limits. Therefore, money has no limits. It is only limited by how much we believe in ourselves, each other, and God in aggregate. Even though there are numbers on bills, and we do our best to measure GDP and keep score with our bank accounts, money can't be quantified. The dollar value goes up and down daily, but the quantity of money corresponds to what we believe is possible in the quantum field where all things are possible. Energy. Money is a store of value or the energy used to create that value. As mentioned earlier, the IOU stored all of the 6 forms of capital I used to produce the 20 apples for you to enjoy. However, capital doesn't become currency until it is in motion. Money wants to have a current like water. Water is almost always moving. Its nature is to be in motion. Energy and circulation grow economies. When money is hoarded and still, economies turn into swamps and all of the negative growth and fungi that come with those environments. When money is in motion and in circulation and has a strong current, the economy experiences positive growth and abundance, hence the terminology cash flow. Cash with a positive flow is called positive cash flow. Similar to water, money flows along the path of least resistance and fills receivers according to the volume of their value. In the same way that a river simply goes around a rock, money will go around you. Many people have a love-hate relationship with money because they identify themselves as givers, not receivers. But that is because they never open themselves up to receive back. The greatest givers are great receivers. By giving first, you have created the space to receive if you are open to receiving. The universe abhors a vacuum. Nature requires that every space be filled. So when you create extreme value for others, nature can't help but pour back into you because of the value vacuum you've made. So when you create extreme value for others, nature can't help but to pour back into you because of the value vacuum you've made. This is how energy works. And since money is just stored energy, it abides by similar universal laws. Yeast. Money is yeast. Yeast increases the yield of what it is added to, most notably bread, which happens to be another name for money. Yeast is the ingredient that causes dough to expand and feed more people when added to the dough. In the same way, when money is added to an asset with potential, like a business, real estate, or a talented individual or group, it can cause the investment to expand and become more valuable while also producing more money. In the same way that a seed yields crops, money likes to yield creations. When you know that money is energy and wants to be used like yeast to increase the yield of something, you seek to circulate your money to the places with the highest potential material and spiritual harvest. In the past 20 years, the S&P 500 stock market index yielded an average rate of return of 4.77% per year. Single-family real estate appreciates at about 3% per year. Multifamily real estate investments should produce at least 12% annually, and savings accounts are only yielding 0.03% interest. Cash is the lowest yielding asset in the world. The name of the game is to increase its yield, its growth, and its good. The goal is to have higher yields. Yield is known as cash on cash return or your return on investment, which is the acronym ROI. The equation for cash on cash return equals the annual profits of an investment divided by the initial investment. A simple example is a kid using $40 to buy Dixie cups, ice, water, lemons, sugar, a marker, and poster board to create a lemonade stand, and then selling 100 cups at $1 each. The profit was $60, which you get by subtracting the $40 in expenses from the $100 in revenue. $60 profit divided by the initial $40 investment equals 1.5 or 150% cash on cash return. This is some math for millionaires, which we will explore further in commandment number 7. It takes money to make money. Money loves to be used to create things that create value for others. When you do so, you will be rewarded with multiples of what you started with. In a sense, you want to give as much value as you can to the world and create such a great value vacuum that the universe can't help but pour back into you so that you can keep giving your gift. You can't outgive God, so your value vacuum will be filled when you are aligned with the universal laws and God's will. Your yield is simply the byproduct of helping others get what they want. The more you give, the more you shall receive. Your blessing model allows you to give, and your business model is what allows you to receive more and more over time continuously. Together, they clarify what you have, what you give, to whom, and how much you receive so that you can continue to offer more. We will go into more detail in commandment number 7. Now that you understand what money is and how it works, it will be easier to attract it. Open your rituals workbook and complete the My Money Story exercise.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Day 1 is officially in the books. You did great, people. You did great. I appreciate you for tapping in on day 1 on what is money and how is money created. Phenomenal read. I definitely want you guys to make sure you comment. What were your takeaways? Specifically, I want you to pay attention, go back and listen to this again. In this chapter, he talked about the 5 characteristics of money. Now, there was an acronym for that, MONEY. I don't know if you caught that, but the 5 characteristics of money, and it was the acronym money, MONEY. M for magnetic, O for objective, N for numberless, E for energy, and Y for yeast. So if you didn't catch that, go back and listen to the 5 characteristics of money and the description of those 5 characteristics. Definitely some gems in there, especially being magnetic. I resonated with that one. And also yeast. Y for yeast, if you didn't catch that. Once again, look forward to tomorrow's reading. Like I said, for today's reading, definitely want you guys to go and comment in the comment section. What were your takeaways? What did you like? What did you didn't like? And things like that, so we can improve on the reading as we go along. Tomorrow we will be discussing what does money want. So tune in tomorrow for what does money want. 15-20 minutes a day is what we're looking for. Looking forward to working with you guys continuously. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Once again, share this out for anybody that's trying to be rich and righteous. Ultimately, that's what our goal is. We want to attract money, not repel money. Once again, appreciate you guys. Thank you for tapping in. See you tomorrow.